With the season over for the New Orleans Saints, it's time to get back to a little fun. When you're talking Saints and fun, is there anyone better to have as our first guest in the offseason than Devin Hold the Mayo Snow? It's been a while since he's been on. It's a no-holds-bar look back at 2025 and what to expect in 2026. Now that I'm independent, we can pretty much say whatever we want, right? We'll also talk about why his stretch of eating red beans for lunch each Monday for 5 years straight and documenting them all in a very naturally New Orleans way is coming to an end. And what's next for him? I know what's next for you. It's the Dattitude podcast. And guess what? You're in luck. It starts right now.
If you're looking for the latest scoop and in-depth interviews on the Saints, the NFL, the Pelicans, LSU, along with the best bets of the week, then lucky you. Along with high-powered, in-the-know guests who cover our teams, Jim Derry brings plenty of Dattitude. And he'll always tell you the way it is, or at least the way he thinks it is.
Where you at, Dattitude family? No kids. Complete silence this morning. The dog didn't even bark. It is lovely. You know what else? You know what? It's almost as nice as Dattitude, episode number 460, presented by Evangeline Securities for a Wednesday, January the 7th, 2026. Last time I could say our first something for a while, probably. I don't know, whatever. It's our first guest Wednesday. It's our first Wednesday show of the new year. I am your host, Jim Derry. You know that already. 35 plus years in the New Orleans sports media scene. I thank you for being a part of the Dat family. Let's have some fun this morning. I want to have fun. Like we were talking yesterday in our group chat, and I think it was UBN who said something about Red Bean. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't had him on the show. Last time we had him on the show was Super Bowl week. Happened to run into him while we're doing Radio Row. And that's a while ago. That's almost a full year ago. So, yeah, I reached out to him, and I've now asked him 3 times to be on the show, and this is the 3rd time he's been on the show. So that's fantastic. Looking forward to it. You know what is most special about the show? Not just that Devin Hold the Mayo Snow is coming on today's show. Who knows what we'll talk about? I have no idea. I mean, besides the obvious things we're going to talk about, who knows where it might go? What is special about this show and every show here on Dattitude is that you are a part of the show. You can be a part by typing in your comment if you want to talk to me. If you want to ask Gabe a question later on, he'll be coming on. If you want to ask Devin Snow a question or talk to him later on, I wouldn't type it in the if you have something you want to ask Devin, I would wait till he comes on because I'm probably not going to remember to go back. Gabe might remember to show it later, but I'll probably forget it. So if you got something for Devin, wait till he comes on. But you can be a part of the show, whether you watch it on YouTube, Facebook, or even X. You can type in your comment, and we will show it here live. We are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. However, that's a little different this week. That's why you need to subscribe to the our YouTube page, and click the little bell. You'll always receive notifications when we go on the air live if you click that little bell. And this week, we have a different schedule. It's very odd for us not to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But this week, we're doing Monday, Wednesday, and tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will be on with our Pick'em show because the college football playoffs resumes tomorrow night. Miami and Ole Miss is first, right, Gabe? Is that the first one? I believe that's tomorrow night. Yeah, and then Indiana and Oregon are on Friday night. But we want to be able to include that in our predictions. Zach is scheduled to come on tomorrow. We will talk. Of course, we'll do a Saints wrap-up, but Zach and I also will talk about the college football playoffs and give our predictions in the Pick'em crew. We'll make our picks on Thursday instead of Friday this week. So, again, that's why you need to click the little bell. And while you're clicking stuff, click the like button. We need all the help we can get. Click the like button. I'm going to get to your comments in just a minute. As usual, I have not looked at a single one of them. Gabe tells me they're awesome. Actually, he didn't say that, but I know if he were in here right now, he would say that. He's in the green room. Maybe they're awesome. Maybe they aren't. We'll see. We're going to get to them in just a minute. Told you what's on today's show. Again, we're going to talk. It's going to be 70% Saints, probably maybe let's say 65% Saints, 10% what Devin's up to. What does that add? I don't want to, because people will tell me if I don't add it up right. God forbid with my West Bank math. So that's 65 and 10. That's 75. I'm going to say 20% NFL playoffs and 5% Pelicans. That's about it. I've made a Pelicans. I say 5%. It might not even be 5%. We'll see. Gabe says 70% Saints. That's his guess. We'll see. I want you to count the minutes, Gabe. Count the minutes and give me an exact percentage when we're finished with this show. I'm just kidding. I don't give a rat's ass. I really don't. It's a complete estimation. Again, we told you about the programming notes. So that's what's on today's show. Also, I did a little thing. I drove to the quarter last night because Doug Mouton asked me to, and he's been asking me to go on his show. And I got to say, I didn't know what to expect. They do a little podcast on WWL. I don't know if any of y'all have seen this or not. And as Bob Uecker used to say, judging by the attendance, you haven't. But I got to say, this might be, no offense to any of my other friends of shows that I've been doing. If all my other media friends are watching, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. This was the most fun show, besides our own, of course, that I've done. It's their podcast. What the hell is it called? I'll find out what it's called. I'm going to put it on the YouTube. I'll give a link to it in the YouTube page when I find it. It doesn't go up until later on. I think this afternoon it's going to go up, but they do it every week on WWL. If you don't have WWL Plus, I know most of you probably don't. You can find it on there, the WWL YouTube page, and that's the most times I've ever said WWL in the matter of 1 minute, I think. Don't try to do that 10 times fast. But they have a lot of fun, and we enjoyed it. I got to say, you would probably appreciate the show because I don't know that I've ever been this positive. I don't know what came into. They actually drink alcohol on the show. It was the first time I had a sip of alcohol. I don't know when's the last time I had a sip of alcohol. But the last thing they do is the last call. And Ross Jackson and Doug Mouton do the show together. It's a podcast they have. It comes out every Wednesday. And Ross made these margaritas, these ginger margaritas. Say what you want. Go ahead, make fun all you want. They were outstanding. And I hardly ever, so let's just make it clear that, some people, I hardly ever drink and drive. So, and I made sure I only had a half a glass. Okay. So I'm sure I was well under the legal limit. If those of you are wondering after, I really don't. And if anything else is because I used to do it way too much when I was a kid. And I mean, I'll you know me, I'm an open book into my 20s. Idiot. I was an absolute idiot. And, woke up one morning and realized, what the hell am I doing? And I don't think I've drank more than a half a glass of anything and driven in probably 25 years, maybe not that long, 20 something years for sure, over 20 years. And it's just, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give props to Ross and his margaritas. They were outstanding. So anyway, that's my plug. I think y'all should all go watch it. It's hilarious. They have a segment called Boil Water Advisory. And so we need to come up with, he gave me some ideas. We need to come up with some different segments and not just call them Saints football, right? We need to come up with some ideas. We're going to do that, especially as we go along. Maybe we'll tie them into some sponsors. We'll figure out how that works. That's coming up. Speaking of sponsors, I got some more to talk to you before Devin comes on the show and about the Saints, because I want to talk about the insane, ridiculous coaching moves, and I want to get to your comments, okay? The insane coaching move, not just of the year. So this might be the insane coaching move that I've seen in the last few years. Y'all know what I'm talking about, and that's coming up. But first, before we do all that, I want to tell you about my friends at Evangeline Securities. Of course, they're the company that can help you decide if it's the right time to sell your family run or privately held business. And just as importantly, they can figure out what that business is worth. If that's you, if it's someone you know, it's time to reach out to Evangeline's founding partner, Nick Braden. He will start by scheduling a complimentary valuation from his office, either on Porter Street in Lafayette or in Lafayette. He's not going to do them both at the same time. He ain't that good, okay? He's good, but he ain't that good. He can't do it at Porter Street and in Lafayette. Maybe he'll teleport you. Who knows? Anyway, from there, you will be well informed to begin to make the decision on if you want to proceed. What happens after that? We'll fill you in more later in the show about the rest of your life. the meantime, you can check him out at www.evangelinesecurities.com. You can also check out my friend Joe DiStefano. If you own a small business of fewer than 20 employees, you know how tough it is to get the best rates on health insurance. That's why you want to call Joe DiStefano Insurance. Joe and I have known each other for almost 40 years. I can tell you that he's someone that I trust. Look, health insurance shouldn't be one size fits all, and with Joe DiStefano, you get access to PPO networks and flexible plans designed to fit you, not just a cookie cutter mold. Joe's licensed, he's local, but he can help you no matter where you live and operate. From preventative care to peace of mind, we'll tailor a plan that works for your life today and tomorrow. Call Joe DiStefano at 504-234-2132 to protect what matters most. That's right. Call my friend Joe. He'll tell you what's up. 504-234-2132. Before we get to Devin this morning, he's in the green room. We're going to get to Devin hold the Mayo snow in just a moment, but I gotta show some comments. There's got to be some comments about the most ridiculous, stupid, moronic, dumbass firing of. You know, we have the dumbass of the week. We always have we haven't had one yet this week, so we still have room for dumbass of the week. But the dumbass move of the year. I mean, some say he was fired, some say it was a mutual. I don't give a damn. Mutual usually means fired anyway. John Harbaugh? What in the holy shiz? What? Who fires John Harbaugh? I mean, let me just tell you, okay? This is what's wrong with the world today and the sports world today. I mean, we got to have it right now, baby. It's got to be right now. Did Tyler Loop get John Harbaugh fired? I mean, if they make the playoffs, he probably doesn't get fired, right? 18 seasons, 180 and 113. I mean, even with my Shaw math, I could tell you that 180 and 18 seasons means 10 wins a season. That's the regular season, by the way. That's a 614 winning percentage. He went 13-11 in the playoffs. Super Bowl champ in 2012. Went to the playoffs in 12 of 18 seasons and only had one stretch where he missed the playoffs in back-to-back years. When he took over the Ravens, Sean Payton was entering his third season as a head coach, and the Saints hadn't won the Super Bowl yet. Think about that. How stupid. How effing stupid. We're going to talk more about it because I know that's what Gabe wants to talk about. So after Devin comes on later on, we're definitely going to talk about that more this morning. Jerry's here. Good morning. Who dat, baby? Rocky. Good morning. That's right. It's RB&R Wednesday. And he wants you to respect your body, he says. Yeah, we're respecting our body. I've been on a diet for about a week. It's about time I start respecting my body because I'm sick of this shit. I just got to tell you right now. I just am. UBN, happy hump day, Dattitude Nation. Charles Bangus is here. Good morning. We're going to have to talk about the Pels sometime. No, we don't. Just kidding. We'll talk about them eventually, but if we talk about them today, it's going to be very briefly. They stink. Saint for life. Who dat, baby? Christopher Crump. Can't wait to see what they do next season. Very proud of the boys and how they finish. Absolutely. Apathy. Just don't. Exactly. That's the one thing I didn't say. For the love of Christ. John Harbaugh getting fired. Don't go to Atlanta. Go anywhere but Atlanta. I mean, they don't let their run of crappy coaches come to an end. Okay? Do anything, but we don't want to see the Falcons with a good coach. Good morning, Phil. He wants Jeremiah Love. Kyle Sherman, good morning. Are we getting the quarterback from UW? Who gets sued, the kid or LSU? I hope that LSU gets Sam Levitt is what I really hope, but we'll see. Kyle Sherman, Pete Carroll to the Falcons. That would be the greatest post-Christmas present ever. Jerry's watching the Mickey Loomis press conference. I guess I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't say that that's happening. We'll have plenty of that tomorrow. Do you really need to watch that shit? I don't. JC, hello. 60 degrees and sunny in Denver tomorrow. A little snow from 60 degrees to snow. It's like going to be 75 or something like that today. Rocky. Yeah, he's coming on in just a minute. He's there. Just got to get through a few more. Chad Gage, good morning. Ovide, Kibido, good morning. Who dat, baby? Barry Ulay, good morning. Thanks for making the off-season tolerable. Come on, membership. It's coming. Memberships begin probably next week. We'll see. Daryl, good morning. Gabe, what am I, chopped liver? Good morning, Daryl. Can you find out the top 6 defenses and points allowed in the second half this past season? Gabe, if you want to do that, we can talk about it when you come on. Infantryman hump day. Definitely a good feeling. You know you have the quarterback situation settled. It certainly does. Rocky says he'll be a member. All right, let's move on. We're moving on to the guest segment a little bit earlier than usual this morning because I don't want him to have to wait. It's been a while. It's been on the show.
Yo.
What is going on this morning?
Hey, man, just another day in America. What's happening, babe?
You know, I know this, and we're going to get into Saints in a minute, but I got to say, we're smiling. We've been smiling for a month. And if I would have told you 3-4 months ago that we would be smiling right now, you wouldn't have believed me, would you?
No, I wouldn't have believed anything positive, bro. We were just at ground zero, and it was seemed like we were going to be there for so long. For, like, things like, hey, we're going to be here for 5 years, 7 years were being said. And wow, what a life.
I mean, it really is. And I mean, and look, people joke about it and call me Derry Down and whatever, because I basically just tell it like it is. I'm sorry if they don't like the way that I think that it is what it is. But I got to be honest. I've just never been, it's been 5-6 years since I've been this hopeful, this optimistic about the future of this franchise.
It's quarterback position, dude.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, it's really just, and it makes everything else we've done since Nan walked out the building, it makes everything else just look like child's play. You know what I'm saying? Because when you actually find somebody that looks like they can, make a change at the quarterback position, there's no other feeling like it. You know it. And we know it better than anybody because we got to watch it for how many years? 15 years.
Exactly.
So we know
rotten.
We know it, just like we know when it's not working out. We know exactly when we got something good, and that's how I feel right now.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to get back to the Saints in just a second, but I want to talk about you because for a second, because look, every Monday I watch like a lot of other people around here, and I know you can't walk around and somebody's going to see you and know you, but I want to talk about I didn't realize this until you started talking about this a month or so ago, whenever it was, but the Red Bean segment, and I mean, I think most of the people that watch our show watch a lot of your stuff, and your Red Bean segment that you've been doing for 5 years. I think you've done 295 of them now in a row. Mm-hmm. It's coming to an end. What made you decide that it was time for this to end?
It just feels like it. I don't know, man. I don't second guess. My stepmom used to tell me all the time, don't ever second guess your first instinct. And I'm not one of them people where I need to drag something out or I need this for life or anything like that. I go by feeling, and I feel like it's the right time. It's actually almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years. If it continued to May, which it'll wind up ending in February, it'll be 6 years of every single Monday doing it. And it's not like I go around during the week and get it all together and then I release it on Monday. No, it's every single Monday I wake up and I film that day, edit that day, publish that day. So no matter what's going on, dude, like I didn't feel good on Monday. You know how they got a cold or whatever going on?
Right.
I didn't feel great Monday. You never know what you're going to feel like on Mondays. Out of all the days, Mondays, you never know. And it's just time, man. I'm ready to open it up, vlog different things, and not just to do with food, but, just like I've always, I will vlog for the rest of my life. Just like I'll do that call-in show for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? I feel great about it. I have nothing but clarity, peace. How did
Camellia feel about it?
I'm meeting with Camellia next week.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, we'll see. But shout out to Camellia, man. They've sponsored me for over 4 years, man. They took a shot on me before RB&R Day was even had any traction locally or whatever. So shout out to them. Shout out to all my sponsors, man. I've been with my same sponsors forever, man.
Look, give them a plug. Go ahead, give them a plug.
All right, Camellia, Abita, Blue Plate just texted me. These River Parish Disposal, these are sponsors that have been with me, all the ones I just named, for over 4 years.
Well, I'll tell you this, Devin, and I, as someone who I've been in this business for 35 years, I just went independent. I was basically forced independent, let go by the mothership on Halloween. So I'm gonna need to get with you and maybe you can help me figure out what I need to do, because I know you made that transition a couple years ago. You working for a car dealership, and you decided, this is what your passion was, and you wanted to make a living doing it, and you found a way to do it. And I think a lot of people in the city appreciate it.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, bro, we all just want to do what we love to do. You know what I'm saying? I love sports, bro. You know what I'm saying? I love New Orleans. I love everything we grew up seeing and the nostalgicness of it. So that's how I want to live my life. I don't want to. I did the clock in thing. I did that. For several years, but it's just not what I want to do with my life. This is what I want to do. So I'm very blessed, man.
We absolutely got to do what we like to do. Charles reminds us, River Parish Disposal, our business stinks, but it's picking up. Yeah. Phil says he lives in Texas and he still finds and buys Camellia Reds and buys his Blue Plate. My friend UBN says his weirdest red bean session was the old man by himself when he served you the grapes. He felt like you were going to be kidnapped.
Dude, that guy wound up closing down because he didn't want the business. I mean, because that's one of the places I'd love to revisit. It was such a unique, that's the type of RB&R days that I will forever remember and reminisce on, because it was such a unique thing, man. Just like when I went to the Jewish place, Kosher Cajun. It's so unique. I learned so much, and I'm gonna do more stuff like that. More of like, just drop me somewhere I don't know what's going on, and figure it out.
Is it going to be on so what are your plans right now? Obviously you still got a month of these left, and you're going to get 5 more weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
6, so you got 5 more weeks of these. Do you know what you're going to do yet? Are you keeping it a surprise? Do you not know? I mean, what's kind of the plan right now?
I mean, I could tell you, I'm not like a I got this in my pocket, I can't wait to pull it out and show it to y'all type dude. I'm not gonna put no pressure on myself. I'm very stress-free about it, and just continue to vlog, man. Like, for example, if I go to Mosca's and eat Italian, I'd vlog it. Really, it's really simple, man. Just vlogging my life, man. And of course, food is a very big part of it. So.
And I know you joke about respect your body, but you really do. I know you told me once before that you eat all that shit on Monday, but you really, the rest of the week, you don't eat like that. So, I mean, and it's so, tell everybody, that's not how you live.
Just want to feel good, man. Just want to feel good. This is something, I'm 33 now. So this is something I probably really started thinking about at 30. I felt like I had been robbed my whole life, just, eating pizza rolls, eating all this stuff that we found out way later, way too late, in my opinion, that was so bad for you.
Right.
So I cut a lot of stuff out of my life. Don't get me wrong. At night, if I'm playing Xbox or whatever, I may slip up. I might eat some cookies, hey, bro, we all gonna slip up, but eating fried food every day and all that stuff, it ain't happening, bro. I want to feel good. That's the main thing. And I love eating good food, New Orleans food and stuff like that. Always will. But I gotta respect my body, dude. I have to, bro. Why not now,
Well, I would tell you that, and I was joking about it before, but in all seriousness, I said, I gotta do something, and last year I made this New Year's resolution that I broke, that I was going to lose a pound a week, or average a pound a week for 52 weeks. And I didn't stick to it. I did okay in the beginning and didn't. And so we're doing it this year, and I've already off to a great start. I've lost like 4.5 pounds in 6 days. So we're going to do this year, because I tell you, you're 100% right. And especially at my age, you got to respect your body, or you're going to be somewhere you don't want to be.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure.
Well, one thing I tell you that really uplifted my spirit about working out and staying in shape and stuff like that is the sauna. The sauna, dude. That's one thing I'd recommend, bro. 2-3 times a week, hit a sauna. Oh, what? It's my favorite time. I go to the sauna. I'll turn on. They got a TV in there. I turn on Fear Factor, and I just sit in the sauna for 20 minutes and I watch Fear Factor. Dude.
20 minutes. How long did it take you to get used to doing it for 20 minutes?
It took
sweat your ass off.
Yeah, at first it was like 15 minutes, and then got to 20, and that's about all you should do it. But man, tons of benefits. I mean, just how clear my face looks after I get out the sauna is incredible. You're sweating because I'm not a cardio dude.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go run the block, bro.
Right,
I'm just not. So that's what works for me.
I don't know. You spend enough time on money running. You're gonna have to run that food off after you're done. Apathy says you're like Frank Davis, and if Buddy D hosted an adult post game call-in show.
Yeah, that's what I would compare to the vlog and what I'm gonna do forever. I'd compare it to like what Frank Davis did. Frank Davis vlogged anything he did for so long. I'm old enough to remember.
Is it necessarily going to be on a Monday, or you might switch it up? What's it going to be like that first Monday that you don't do it? You're going to feel like, I don't know, dude. That's going to be so damn weird.
Oh, bro, I'm sitting in the house all day, and I'm just going to just chill out, bro, because it's been so long since I've been able to. Dude, Mondays come so quick. Like, what's today?
They do.
What is today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. I got to look at the thing on my screen. Wednesday.
Half a week away already. Feel like I just did it an hour ago. So
especially during football season.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, if the Saints lose, Monday is the next thing, bro. I'm pissed. There ain't no sugarcoating it. I'm pissed off, and I just
get out of the first 12 Mondays of the year.
Yeah, dude. Imagine that. It was miserable.
You can't keep talking about the same shit over and over again. It really gets a little bit old sometimes. But as we're gonna get back to the Saints in just a minute. But I saw you go back to the Bywater. Was that the first time you went back to the same place?
I've done that because they've had like holidays and stuff where
right, you don't have a lot of choices.
Yeah. So I've done it with a couple places. Like Chicken's Kitchen's one of them. I've done Blue Oak a couple times.
Okay.
But yeah, went back to Frady's is such a gem place, man. It really is. Like the people are such good people. They got such strong like ties to this city, and like Ronnie Lamarck was involved when Frady's first opened and stuff.
Right.
There's just so much history to that place. It's just a small place. Like the owner lives across the street. I call him the Bywater Monopoly man. That's the guy that started.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, that dude was just happened to be walking around when you're doing the thing at the end of it. Man, I enjoyed this week, but some of these places I'm looking. Okay, I got to go there. I got to try it. Somebody asked. Let me get to it. Where is it real quick? I don't know where it was, but somebody asked. And I know that you have you gone as far as Lafayette for Red Beans and Rice Monday? Yeah,
I think the one in the spot. It was right outside of Lafayette.
Yeah.
It was Swears, which was right outside of Lafayette. I went there, but no, not a lot of, because really what it comes down to is it's filmed the day of, and it's like, how much time do I have? You know what I'm saying?
And you don't decide until the morning, right? I mean,
I don't decide until I get off the radio at 10:30 a.m., bro.
Really?
Like, I milk it to the last second, and because it, and that's how I've had some crazy episodes, dude, like the zoo. Which was one of the craziest ones that I think I've done. It was just so random. I was actually on my way to the West Bank, and I was like, you know what? Let's go to the zoo.
Who helps you? Who is that's on holding the camera?
That's my boy Justin Saint Germain. That's been my friend since I was in high school. So, and he
does a really good job.
Yeah, he does, man. We've never had an argument. It's my friend, bro. So, it's worked out. That was one of the most consistent things I've had in holding Mayo. He's been holding the camera since.
Is it actually a camera, or is it just an iPhone?
It's an iPhone.
That's awesome, man.
I don't like causing too much attention, man. I don't want people to even know what I'm doing.
How many people do you have that like say, oh, please? I mean, I can't imagine how many people. Please come check out our place on next Monday. And I mean, you got to be deluged with people wanting you to come to their place on a Monday.
Absolutely, man. My whole inbox is filled with you need to try, or you need to come here, or and I gotta be honest with you, I'm not gonna miss it, bro. I can't wait till my inbox kind of changes up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To different things, to more like authentic conversations and stuff. But anyway, a lot, man, a lot. But I could never tell them.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, if I responded to them, most of the time, I'm like, hey, man, to keep everything authentic, I don't talk to people ahead of time. So, and
Yeah.
I think that's one of the rare things. And, when I started this in, May of 2020, they didn't have that many food creators. The only ones I really knew of, I knew of Portnoy. I obviously knew of Bourdain from back in the day. But I really didn't know of a lot of food creators. So now it's completely changed. There's so many food creators, and you could just tell, bro, like they get with these people beforehand, or majority of them do. They get with them beforehand. They get paid. Bro, I've paid to do this segment every single Monday for almost 6 years. I've never got with nobody, asked for a free plate, none of that stuff. Just did it, just like you going to lunch at 12 o'clock on a Monday.
That's awesome. And look, I got hooked on them. I didn't see it from the beginning, but I'd say I was probably the early hundreds. It's been a while. I've been watching it. It's just, and it's addictive. Sometimes I'll miss a couple and then I go back and watch 3 or 4 in a row and binge them, but it's just as fun to do that. Randy Cajun says, look at this, 2 of his favorite post-game personalities. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You have a little bit more fun after the games than I do, probably. I do my shorts after the game. Then we have what we call Mono-y Monday, and it's just me, and it's just the commenters on Monday mornings. But talk about your show and after the games and your post-game show, and how did you decide you were going to start doing that? And how did you decide, it's going to be a free-for-all. People can say whatever the hell they want.
Man, never really thought about it for long. I just started it in 2019, and it started with this phone, the same phone. Yeah, since 2019, I've had the same Office Depot phone. It's not one of them ones where you could put somebody in a queue or anything like that. Right. It's like calling D97, Q93 back in the day. Yeah, it's either going to be busy or it gets through. That's
awesome.
That's it. So I think the inspiration was, shows like when I was growing up, what I was watching. So like Howard Stern, that was a big one for me. I remember just trying to sneak watching Howard Stern as a kid because, he'd be working that phone, he'd have guests, all that stuff. And then of course, like Paul Feinbaum, guys like that. So I just saw the opportunity to get unfiltered. Because in reality, bro, I don't care what anybody says. Majority of people down here are very unfiltered. They probably got a filthy mouth. It is what it is, dude. And I wanted to get them people a chance to be able to talk about what we love the most, which is Saints football, man. It's such a engraved tradition to follow Saints football if you're from here. So, of course, everybody has something to say, and that's why I started the show, man.
And those regulars that you got on, man, you got so many regulars that call in and watch. I don't. Maybe I'll call in one day. I do watch it. I don't call in, but I do watch it. But man, do you ever run into any of those dudes? You know any of those dudes? Have you met any of them?
I've met a few of them, but not as many as maybe somebody would think, anything like that. Because I like to not meet him, to be honest.
Yeah.
For instance, like I told Roast Beef Ron, he asked me one time, he's like, hey man, you want to meet up? I'm like, dude, to be honest with you, bro, I got this image of what you look like in my head and I don't want to remove it. Because to me, you look like a dude that's sitting in his recliner in his drawers. That's
I love it.
Yeah. So I don't want to remove that image, so.
I love it. Rainy Cajun says Roast Beef Ron is a show favorite. Behold Mayo.
He's amazing.
Apathy says Queen's Soul Food out in Kenna was his favorite episode thus far.
Legendary.
Do you have? I mean, obviously you did 295 of them. It's hard, and I'm putting you on a spot. But I know people ask you this all the time. But do you have a couple, like 2 or 3 are your favorites that call off the top of your head?
I mean, that's one of them. Queen's Cuisine for sure. But there's so many, man. There's just so many. It doesn't do it justice because I'm gonna leave something out. But to me, just like he said, Queen's Cuisine was a legendary episode. It shifted. It turned the tide of RB&R Day. I mean, it was responsible for RB&R Day getting the traction that it's gotten. That episode was such a big part of it. But anyway, I like Chicken's Kitchen, Vucinovich's in the East, Family Cajun Kitchen in Chalmette. There's a few of them. And there's been some places I've went that are completely out of town that have been fire too.
Do you even think about when you're done putting like a compilation together?
I'll do
that
some.
would take a lot of work, but
I'll probably do some type of like memory clip, something like that.
All right.
Dude, there's been so much that I thought of that I could do for the end of this and capitalize and blah 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 blah. But you know what, man? That's just not what it's about to me, bro. It's just not, man. So I'm not gonna do the shirt, the 300 shirt. I'm passing up. Yeah, I'm just passing up on it because I don't want to. I don't know how to explain it, man. It just don't feel right to even like capitalize on. It just feels like such a community-driven segment that I just want it to be what it was, be what it is.
Well, I know there's a lot of people on this show that are definitely appreciated. And for sure, we're going to miss it. My friend Sav says Flute Phil is hilarious.
Yeah, he's a character, dude. Yeah, I mean, he's played John Cena's theme song on a pre-quarter, not even a flute.
That's Slugger says he wants to know who the crazy son of a bitch Yeah I'm Live is. That guy is a comedy show by himself.
He's Yeah I'm Live, brother. As it ain't nobody else like him.
I mean, so and look, he's got to find a way to get through like everybody else, right? Does he just keeps calling and you hear that voice and what do you think? Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Pretty much, yeah. Where's it going? What's he gonna talk about this time? And yeah, man, he's definitely one of the biggest characters in HTM history.
And you told me before, and he just sounds like this old crusty ass dude who's like smoking like 2 packs of Camels over, in the evenings or whatever. But you told me he's a young dude, younger dude.
He's not as old as people think at all. Yeah.
I mean, sounds like this 70-year-old crusty, just.
I think a lot of these guys sound a little older than what they are. I mean, I don't know for sure how old everybody is, but I can tell you, he ain't as old as people think. And then Roast Beef Ron, I don't even know if he's as old. You know what I'm saying? So they just got older voices, man, probably from their families.
Yeah, well, maybe it is from Camels too. Who the hell?
Yeah, family of cigarettes.
Stuff like that happens. So, what are your show schedules now that post game's over with no more games to show? When you gonna go on the air so everybody knows?
Well, I'm still gonna go on every Sunday, and I'm still trying to figure out a set schedule. But definitely I always still go on every Sunday. It goes a little later because you got bigger football games going on. You don't want to start a show when there's like the NFC Championship,
right? But, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna figure that out, but definitely every Sunday I schedule it on YouTube, Hold the Mayo on YouTube, and then I'm also thinking about doing another day out the week doing the show. I use the off season every year to kind of evolve something, not do too much, but evolve something in the show. So,
wow. Well, we'll find it when you know when you're going to be on. Let us know. We'll give you a plug. Mason says Stormy Daniels was his favorite episode so far.
I can't believe that happened. I can't. It was Ida had just hit, and she was down here doing work or whatever, and it was RB&R Day 69.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and I did
not know that.
Yeah, I hit up Stormy Dan. I was like, "Hey,
69. It's RB&R 69.
I'd love to get you on here." And she's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Wow.
I was still raw, or I didn't know.
I gotta say, not too long ago, because I like to go back and look at myself and see a show from 3 years ago to now, and how you change, and that's how you get better. But I actually did that with you. I went back and watched, and it just kind of I think it popped up on my feed or something. It was like, I don't know, show like 90 something or what. It was, I don't know. It was way back then. And I watched it. I'm like, you're so much better now. Not that you weren't, but you realize how much you start figuring this thing out and how to do things. The show is not that it wasn't good then, but it's so much better now than it was 3-4 years ago. And
I can't, I know how you said you go back and look at stuff from, I can't do it. I can't. No, bro. I can't even go back and look
I get better.
Yeah, and look, I also think that everybody will go through this. If you get into this industry, if you get into anything like what we do, if you get into anything, any job, look at how you started, look at where you at 4 years after. That's any job. So no, I hate my content from when I started. It's cringe to me. But you know what? It's just
play-by-play. My early play-by-play, because I do play-by-play on the side, and my early play-by-play is all it's the same way. I'm screaming about a 2-yard gain. I'm like, shut the hell up. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's but you need to go through it, man. It's the only way, man. It's truly the only way is to be cringe and then figure out. Here's where people go wrong when they don't see that they cringe.
Exactly.
That's the big thing.
There's no doubt about that. UBN wants to know, because we're both from the West Bank, what was your favorite West Bank spot?
Man, the West Bank's got a lot of bangers, dude. Man, it's hard because I got to think of so many things in my head. Frazier's is a great spot. They got great fried chicken.
Somebody put that in here. Somebody
put Chicken's Kitchen is definitely one of them in Gretna. Rib Master was another one that was really good.
That was Belchase, the Rib Master.
He was way out there. I want to say
it was in Plaquemines Parish, though, right?
He was way out. He's the farthest I've ever driven.
Okay.
I didn't actually know that the West Bank went that far.
It goes down there. Highway 23 goes way down there, brother.
I always said, man, they got too much land out there, dude.
It is way out there for sure. Hakeem says, you and Corey skits are the fun. Dude, I'm glad, Hakeem, thanks for bringing that up, because I did want to bring that out, and I forgot to type that in. Dude, do y'all pre-write that stuff, or does it just come out?
No, that's improv. Don't get me wrong.
Is it really?
Yeah, we'll jot down topics to improv on, but no, that's a lot of Corey with a K is the improv god of New Orleans. He is so much better at that than me.
That is great stuff. How did y'all even start doing that?
The last few years I've done skits with Corey. Probably for almost 4 years I've done skits with Corey, and we just kind of figured, hey, we did it once with the Saints, and we were like, man, if we do this every week, this could be a hit. And yeah, bro, I love doing this.
And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, y'all go check out Hilda May. How can they find your YouTube page, by the way? Let them know how they can find, because you got to go see these shorts. They are hilarious after games and before games, and especially if you go watch Devin and Corey from before the season and then watch them now that they shucking it up. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
tell them how they responded.
Hold the Mayo on Instagram. That's where we put them. They on Instagram. They put them on X as well. So Hold the Mayo on X. And then that's the two main ones that we put those on. TikTok, it's hit or miss. Like they'll not they'll flag it or whatever. I don't even understand.
Why?
I don't know, dude. Like saying that something's inappropriate or something. My content's not even
TikTok.
I don't know, dude. They done took my stuff down so many times on TikTok. I don't even respect them.
All right. Well, you respect your body, but you don't respect TikTok.
I don't respect TikTok, dude. Because they I mean, look at all the junk that's all over that app, man.
I know, dude. It's bad.
Take down improv comedy that's talking about the Saints, talking about sports. It's weird.
Maybe you kind of got semi-political and they don't know. I don't know what the hell.
Never once.
No, I know. I'm completely kidding. All right, let's get to the Saints. We'll finish up because I want you to tell everybody one more time before we're done how they can find you. But let's talk about these Saints. And first, I want to talk about this year before we look ahead. But look, we didn't know. I think we can go back in time, and I don't remember exactly what you said, but I'm be straight up. I questioned why with the 40th pick of the draft, they drafted this older rookie from Louisville, who the only clips that I saw were him throwing underhanded crap to other players and just all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, why are they drafting this dude with the 40th pick of the draft? And I don't know. I couldn't have been more wrong, because this guy, to me, as I sit here today, and again, I'm called Derry Downer for a reason, but this dude looks like the real deal, and he looks like he can carry this team and be something that's just makes us think differently than we have the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the whole moment when we drafted him. I was like, "Wow, this is odd," but that was the type of this is weird, but and then I went to Manning camp, and he was at Manning camp, and I was even like at the bar. I was at Roxy's something out there, Roxy's maybe, where all the college quarterbacks.
Oh. Yeah, Roxy. I know what you're talking. And Thibodeau, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was with Guggenheim, and
Colin Guggenheim.
Yeah. We went to Roxy's, and all the quarterbacks were at the bar, because they were all in town for Manning camp. So you saw Arch Manning, everybody was there, and sure enough, man, Tyler Shough rolls up, by himself.
Well, it says Rox's.
Right, yeah, Rox's. And Tyler Shough rolls up. He's by himself, sitting there. I'll never forget the image, bro. He's sitting there drinking a Miller Lite at a table by himself. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, this is the guy that we drafted just now?
Exactly.
He's sitting there drinking a Miller Lite by himself.
You should have gave him an Abita, respect your body. I mean,
fast forward 3 months later, he hits me up, Tyler Shough.
Did he really?
And guess what? He's holding a picture of a Respect Your Body beer saying, bro, this beer is amazing.
You're kidding.
I swear that on everything. In August, he hit me up with that. And I was like, wow, this is a sign. I mean, this is a sign, dude. Like, but at the same time, I was like very for Spencer Rattler getting an opportunity.
Right.
You know, under the new coach. He got dealt the worst hand last year ever. But he was my favorite thing about Spencer Rattler, and I still feel the same way, just really handled everything really well. Even last year with how Derek Carr was acting, and
100%.
Dude, he's been such a pro. He's been such the opposite of what people said he was from that documentary and all that stuff.
Right.
So, man, hats off to him and how he handled it. I wanted him to get the opportunity. It didn't work out. We didn't win games. Tyler Shough comes in. Man. Like, just the Rams game, I don't even count. We only had 14 minutes of possession. It was
exactly.
It was awful. Since then, this dude has, I mean, it's something every week, man, where it's like, man, that was elite. I don't
care who they played to go 5-3 since then. To go 5-3 the second half of the season. I don't care who you are. I mean, I don't care who you're playing. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, 2-10, from 2-10 to 6-11. 6-11, nobody's bragging about 6-11. But to go from 2-10 to 6-11, it's quite the feat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to go from the mood that we were in, thinking, hey, it's us, the Jets, and the Titans battling for the first pick, to we finished the season where, oh, thank God we not the Jets. Like, exactly. That is, bro, people, know this. Yeah, people die for a quarterback to make you feel. The Jets been looking for a quarterback to make them feel good and comfortable about that situation for how many years, man?
I mean, if you want to say Mark Sanchez was a good quarterback, even if you want to give him credit, okay, that's fine. That was over 15 years ago.
Yeah, and then before, if you don't say that he was, you'd say what? Testaverde, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, really, think about the crappy quarterback, Richard Todd. I mean, and we're going back to when we were kids, but I mean, you weren't even born yet. But I mean, that's way long time ago. I mean, they don't have quarterbacks. It's the same for the Bears. They finally got one, I guess, but the Bears haven't had 50 years,
Yeah. So if this is our blessing, which it feels like it is, wow. The man upstairs really looked out for us, because he didn't really, in all reality, he didn't make us wait too long. We had to go through a few years. They were horrible. But wow, man, if this is the guy, which it looks like it, I mean, and it's not like this is lucky. You watch the guy play,
right?
He does elite things. Some of these throws just this last game, roll into the right, throws it to a dude on the sideline to make a play. That's another thing about Tyler Shough. First, second, third, or fourth down, no problem. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. And he had the confidence that he was going to do it. I want to give a shout out, because what you said, I agree. Look, because I've given him enough grief. Not so much the last 4 months or so, but throughout the offseason, I probably gave him too much grief. I couldn't agree more with what you said about the way Spencer Rattler handled himself, not only when he was playing, but even after he gave up, and saying Spencer's a quality backup. Look, a lot of quarterbacks would have bitched and said, I never got a chance to be the quarterback, and they would have made excuses and whatever. And you haven't heard one single excuse from this dude. And he's been the complete team player. You see him talking to Shough on the sideline. They're talking together and trying to figure things out. And look, these two dudes are basically both the anti-Derek Carrs. And, they've endeared themselves to the city. They've endeared themselves to their football team. And that's why I'm just as excited about the future, because both of these guys really, and Spencer Rattler I think he's a fine backup. And going forward at this position, you don't have to worry about drafting one.
Yeah, and he's one of them guys the way I could see him having like a type resurgence just from being in the league for so long. I'm talking about years down the road. I could see him having a similar resurgence that with like Sam Darnold had. Geno Smith had it for a little minute, not this year, but Geno Smith had a little. I could see that happening with Spencer Rattler because I mean he's just handling everything the right way, and he's probably means he's willing to learn, he's willing to grow, and you do it for long enough in the NFL, man, you might wind up being pretty damn good and wind up being a starter.
Lance hates. He wants to say filth, flaw, and filth when I say the words Derek and Carr put together. They just don't like it, Devin. They just don't like when you say that name.
Least like Saint in history, in my opinion, and there's been many that you could
good one. Maybe we could do a whole show on least liked Saints and team. There have been a few.
I mean, look at the situation with McCoy. How McCoy flipped that switch in that game and went at him. You will never see Eric McCoy do that ever. You would never see that. That means that guy, Derek Carr, was given awful vibes. Awful.
Like what was it like off the field? You have to imagine they just couldn't stand it off the field. I mean,
they were so sick of it then. That for him to react like that was such a big like indicator of, man, whatever you seen from this guy that he's telling you, Derek Carr, it's all fibs, man. The locker room's in great. It's a great locker. Man, them dudes don't like you, bro. That's
they couldn't. Well, between him and Dennis Allen, can you think of a more toxic environment?
Well, we knew it though. We knew when you paired Dennis Allen and Derek Carr that was
what a mess, dude. What a and you think back, and that was it was just a couple of years ago, but it feels like it was forever ago. You want to put that out your head so bad, it just feels like so. All right, Lance, that's it. No more. I'm not going to talk about him no more today because we're gonna keep it positive, brother.
Yeah, man.
And we're gonna go back to Shough because Brett says back in July he rewatched Louisville versus Miami from 2024. He told his buddies, go look at this dude's arm, and he's 6'6". Saints might have something with this dude. They might.
Yeah, I mean, when you really, and especially in hindsight, when you really look into it, the Braum thing, that's such a big indicator, man. It really is. I mean, because if you look at what Braum's done with so many quarterbacks and just that pedigree, that Braum pedigree, and it just makes Kellen Moore look super smart too, dude, because, he could have went after any of these quarterbacks that the public wanted the Saints to get, blah, 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 blah. You could tell that he really did some huge networking to find out what was going on with Tyler Shough, and he probably talked to Braum a lot, because Kellen Moore, I mean, he's in the quarterback network for life, you know what I'm saying? So he probably talked to that dude, and he took his word, and man, it just looks like it was meant to be. To me, he's the best rookie quarterback this season.
And that's why sometimes when we give crap to, I'm not, I know nobody wants to go singing Mickey Loomis's praises, but sometimes when we give it, and look, they deserve crap a lot of time, but let me just say, to me, it looks like not only did they get this one right, but Devin, I think the last two drafts have been, that's part of why it's not just Tyler Shough. I think that the last two drafts this team has had have been pretty good ones, and that's why I think another reason why this team's on the upswing.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, especially this past one, because I mean, to be able to like throw a Jonas Sanka in there,
yeah, absolutely,
that was huge. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that he's going to be a really good player for the Saints going forward. Yeah, Stutzman. By the way, I don't know if you watched the press conference after the game with DeMario. Man, it really seems like he's not going to be here next year. I did not expect that. How he was sounding during that press conference, which means Stutzman is set to probably.
You think he won't be here next year?
Dude, I thought up until Sunday that it was a sure thing the Saints would work it out. Dude, I watched that press conference. For anybody that hasn't seen,
what made you think that he's not yet? Because I didn't see him talking, but I read clips of what he said, and to me, it sounded like he was open to it. What from that did lead you to believe that he won't come back?
Just no clear commitment answers. Not even just saying I'd love to be here. None of that was said. It was, I'm gonna leave it up to God, and it's not my choice. And and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, well, where would you go? And why? I just never expected that. And I'm not hating or nothing like that, but I was genuinely shocked on how Demario Davis sounded when they asked him if he was willing to be a part of this next year. he said, man, I got to leave it up to God. And, he makes the decision where I head. And I'm like, damn.
Well, I do think this. He probably won't give the same hometown discount to the Saints that Cam would give if they wanted him to come back. So maybe, look, and you can say what you want, but Demario Davis, I can tell you one thing that's a fact. You go by his stats, and he's now 2 years in a row career high in tackles, and he upped it again this year. So somebody's going to want him even at his age.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't expect him to want. I mean, this guy's from what? Mississippi. He went to Arkansas State. Right. I just didn't expect at this late in his career. Man, Charles, I see you with the comment. I encourage you to go watch the press conference. It was not good. As far as him coming back next year, any certainty, even like 5% certainty, I didn't get it out of that at all, man. It was very unexpected. I want to emphasize that. Like, I did not expect to hear that vibe from that press conference with Demario Davis.
I will cut that piece out, and we will run it on tomorrow morning show. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow morning. All right, let's talk about the future and what the future holds. And we talked about it the other day, and who the Saints opponents are. My friend Barry's here, so I got to give him a shout out. Barry Barnesfather says Demario is a great guy. Saints should have moved him before the trade deadline. I mean, he probably wouldn't have been that upset about it if he would have. Darryl says he's from Brandon, Mississippi. Did not know that. But going forward now, regardless whether Demario Davis comes back, I think this defense, they finished. Somebody said this on my show Monday. I had to go look it up. I didn't believe it until I actually looked it up, and they were right. The Saints finished in the top 10. And who would have thought? If you'd have told me the Saints were going to finish in the top 10 in defense for the season, I would have told you you're out of your mind. Brandon Staley coming in here, changing the structure of the defense. They're kind of transitioning into a 3-4. At some point, they probably will get there, but they had to figure out what they could do. You got old man Cam coming back. You don't know what you're going to get from Davis. You got these young players at the same time. And to finish 9th overall in defense and 4th in passing defense, to me, is just beyond what anyone could have expected.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you would have never thought that even as the season was going on. It just, man, I think late in the season, they just really buckled down, man. And, especially the D-line. The D-line played
young, man.
Dude, I used to call him Chase Almost Young. That's because he almost get there every time. Now it's Chase Forever Young because, wow, dude, like, what a season by Chase Young, man.
I was on a show last night with Doug Mouton and Ross Jackson, and we were talking, and Ross was just raving over Chase Young and was talking about, I think it was Doug that actually was talking about how he asked Chase Young about being with the Saints, and he says he's never felt this encouraged for the rest of his career. He feels so good about being here. And, to me, you got to give props to Brandon Staley. I've given him shit throughout his head coaching career because I thought he was a terrible head coach. But what he's done to transform this defense and change the mindsets, and obviously what he's done for Cam and everybody else, I just think that, for Chase Young to say that, and we knew what kind of player he could be when he got drafted with 2nd or 3rd pick of the draft or whatever it was. That's what he's playing like the last half of the season. And that's another reason why you just got to be super encouraged.
Yeah, and healthy,
Exactly.
That was really the biggest thing with Chase Young, availability, right? And then they, when he was coming from San Francisco, there was a lot of talk of like he didn't play through the whistle type thing. Bro, you want to talk about play through the whistle? That dude played through the whistle this year, man.
How about just jack the ball from Cam Ward and running in for a touchdown?
That's play of his career. Easy.
I mean, that was awesome, man. To me, that might be the play of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the stuff Shough did was great, but Shough running it in for a touchdown from 20-something yards out in Tampa was pretty fun. But that might be the play of the year. That's might be my favorite. I think it is. If I go through,
and he helped just like Cam helped him. He helped Cam so much too. Just because Chase Young, even if he didn't get the sack, dude, he was so like in your face every play.
Absolutely,
you had to go another way, and that way was the Cam Jordan door. And that door didn't open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
That's why he had 10.5 sacks this year, which, man, just so impressive because this is a guy, I think I said last year, that Lance Armstrong had more sacks than Cam Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a complete turnaround for Cam Jordan. I mean, I nothing but respect, man. Nothing but respect.
All right. Well, looking forward to 2026. What do you expect now? I mean, what do you want the Saints to do in the draft? What do you think the biggest needs are? Now, look, I'm going to say this with a caveat. I guess I got to trust these, just like we trusted Sean Payton. And I know it's only been 1 year, but the dude was right about Shough. They had a good draft last year. I feel confident about what they do. I'm going to try, even if it's a defensive dude, which is what I really don't want, but I think they need a running back. But I'm interested to get your take on what you think the Saints need and where you think they go in the draft.
Yeah, just some type of playmaker on offense, whether it's receiver, running back, tight end. You got a good tight end out of Oregon coming out. You got a couple receivers. You got the dude from Arizona State, Tyson, and then you got the dude from USC, the wide receiver from USC as well. So, I mean, just some type of playmaker that could come in that fits the offense. You know what I'm saying? That ain't going to take a long time to understand the offense or anything like that. That fits the scheme, that we could just have that weapon. Because what can happen is what happened last week is when you down one receiver and you traded one, so technically two, and look at these guys playing receiver. I mean, you got a guy named Ronnie Bell, which, by the way, better give Ronnie Bell a look come this offseason.
Dude, what a catch.
That was
that one-handed, what the hell was that?
Must have been the manager at Dick's Sporting Goods last week. He's catching a one-handed catch for the Saints. So, yeah, dude, some type of playmaker. I'm not against, at one point in the draft, hopefully earlier, getting some type of D lineman, linebacker.
Yeah, not in the first round, though.
No, I don't think it's necessary.
And the Saints, by the way, yesterday, and we never talked about this, but flying under the radar. And I know people don't get excited about, not everybody gets excited, but I think this could be an interesting pickup yesterday. The Saints picked up and signed a guy named Damian Alford. He's a 6'5" wide receiver who was the first pick of the CFL draft this past year, averaged 20.4 yards per catch. He missed half the season with the Calgary Stampeders with a hamstring injuries. But this dude got size, Vele-like, and you got him for a song. Who knows, man? This could be a guy we're talking about in the preseason that could be a part of this team next year. The dudes on social media were pissed. The CFL fans on social media were pissed that he left. So that tells me something.
All 7 of them, huh?
Yeah, I think there were 8, actually.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Hey, I could tell you what experiments I'm pretty much done with as far as receiver. I'm good on Bub Means. I don't think we need to try another year of that. I'm good on Tipton. I'm tired of seeing him Hall of Fame in the preseason, and it's just not there in the regular season. So there is room for new guys to come in and actually prove something. Because we need it, man. We need 4 reliable receivers, man. That would be nice. 4 reliable.
Absolutely. You need 4, and really, you only got 1. If you want to count Juwan Johnson at tight end, I mean, you paid him the money, so you know he's going to be back. And I'm very interested in Vele. And other than that, I mean, you need at least 2 more guys.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, so that's obviously going to be a position they address. You might have 15 receivers coming into camp, and they figure out which one of them stick. I know they're going to draft 1 or 2. We'll see, but they definitely have to address receiver and definitely need to go playmaker. And you talk about all that. I'm sick of all these chances too. Like you talk about, look at running back. I don't think there's a real running back on this roster right now. Look, Devin Neal has promise. That's great. Audric Estime, what he did at the end of the season, fine. Give him a chance to be RB3. Kendra Miller, though, how many chances are you going to give Kendra Miller? I think it's got to be gone, right? I mean, I think you got to be done with him. And then I don't know about you, but I would be surprised if Alvin Kamara comes back. I think he's going to be a post-June 1 cut.
Damn, really?
Yeah. 31 years old, and you save almost $9 million if you let him go on the cap. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's quite the take. Because I guess I really haven't. I
know it's harsh.
Yeah, because if I got put on the spot to say what I think would happen with that, I think it's close. But I think he would. I think 1 more year. I don't necessarily think that Kamara needs to be like a feature back or anything. Not that he really is either, at this point. But for me, the biggest problem with the running backs is the health. I know Kamara was hurt this year and, give him a break. I mean, he's older and he hasn't been hurt that much. He really hasn't been.
I will say this, though. If he does come back and you pair him with a Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, that would be an interesting move.
Well, you look at what they did in
Give him
06.
100 carries instead of whatever, you know?
Look at what they did in 06 with Deuce and Reggie Bush.
Exactly.
It's not a bad thing to have a vet.
And then Mike Bell even.
Yeah, Mike
later
Bell.
On.
Yeah, Mark Ingram and Kamara. So I don't know, man. I think that the biggest problem with the running backs is the health, and I'm not going to key in on Kamara with this. For me, it's Kendre. Like you said, you don't need to. Why? Why would you?
Gotta go.
Yeah, he's just got to go. It just is what it is. And no, look, I like the guy. He just didn't work out. He can't stay healthy. The Devin Neal thing's concerning too because it's a hamstring.
Exactly. And I mean, look, he's only a 6th rounder, so you're not really losing anything. You're definitely going to bring him back because he doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
So speaking of not costing anything, Shough, $11 million for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Man. I mean, that's pretty cool. All right. You got any final thoughts here as we go forward? I just think this is going to be probably the most fired up Saints fans are in the offseason. Even back before Drew left. I mean, because you knew Drew's times were coming. It's kind of like if you love Christmas, okay, and you get to Christmas Eve, it's bittersweet because, look, I know tomorrow's Christmas and I'm excited, but after tomorrow, it's over. It's kind of was like that for Drew at the end of Drew's career. Like, you were excited about what that season might hold, but you knew that it was coming to an end, and you didn't even know how you were going to handle it when it was over. That's kind of how I felt at the end of Drew, and it's just you probably got more excitement than you've had in the last 8 years.
No, I agree. I really do, man. I really agree with that, and I just think that's what having comfort in that quarterback position changes everything, bro. Because any game you go out there, it doesn't matter who they playing, we're gonna think as fans, oh, we got a shot because of this.
I absolutely agree. UBN, before we let you go, says he binge watched all the RB&R days this weekend between games. And Quo Vada says she loves you and that you are naturally New Orleans and that she already misses RB&R day. Just tell them everybody again. And I went and looked and I figured it out. I think 300 would be. I was wondering if it was going to be on Lundy Gras. I think it's the Monday before Lundy Gras, right?
Which works out great, man. Because
Lundy Gras is hard to do.
Dude, I'm trying to cut up, man. I'm trying to really celebrate, right? So
you'll be able to this year. Your first Monday with no RB&R will be on Lundy Gras. That's weird how that worked out.
It's special, man. It's special, and it's funny because I was ending it at 300 no matter what. I've been talking about this amongst people that are close to me for over a year. Ending at 300, and man, it just worked out right there.
You've been thinking about it. You've been that long.
Yeah.
What with the people that you work with? Is it Justin? You said that's the guy. That's your boy.
I told him almost every week.
What did he say? What did he say?
I think he agrees. I mean, I think it's just I just don't want to be known forever for. I mean, look at, for instance, the skits that I do with Corey.
Right.
Those things get 500,000 views, bro. But people always bring up the Red Beans thing, which I love it. I created.
Because it's unique and it's something. Yeah. It's something no one. You're in this business. We're always looking to do something that no one else has done.
Yeah.
Or hardly anyone else does, and it's hard to come up with something that's unique and no one else has done.
It is, and that's what look, when I first started this Hold the Mayo in 2019, I was praying to find something that was different, unique, and that I could do. That was the main thing. If you do something 100 times, I know it'll hit. I kept telling myself that, and I found that, and it's been a great run, bro. And I'll forever cherish RB&R day. I mean, it's just been amazing. But everything has to come to an end, right? Or you're sitting here and it's like I'm 45 or so. I'm 33 now, but let's imagine me 45 doing RB&R day every month. No, man, we're gonna open it up. We're gonna do more things, go more places, try different cultures, and it's just gonna be the best thing that I think that I've ever done at this point.
And I think once people get used to it, they're really gonna love it. And you know what I'm gonna say about us is, what kind of makes me sad, and I've said this on the show before, is I listen to my kids talk and there's no yat in them whatsoever. Okay? I mean, they were born, and look, it's half my fault because we moved to Mandeville when my son was I know, and look, it is what it is. It takes the culture out. No offense, Mandevilleites. There are people out there that love Applebee's, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, and that kind of crap. But it's not just my kids up here. I go with the kids that I cover. That I don't know. I think Yat's going to die when our generation's gone, Devin. And you want to talk about things that are unique. I don't know that I can explain New Orleans English and all the things that we ain't there no more and all that and Schwegmans and K&B. I can't really explain that to my kids the way it's sad when we're gone, all that's going to be gone.
Yeah. It's kind of had a revive because I mean, for a long time, nobody even talked about yachts. Right. And
I know. It was a bad thing almost.
Yeah. Nobody even talked, but it had its comeback. Like, what do you call them? The circle disc and you put it on the, what is that called again?
You mean DVD, CD?
No, the music you
Blu-ray.
No, you put it on a track. A track is it? What is it called?
8-track tape. That's when you press the button to go to. That's actually a tape. It was like a giant cassette almost.
Okay, yeah, just like vinyls and stuff is what I'm thinking of.
Right, okay, vinyls.
Like that made a comeback. Everything makes a comeback, and it's like, oh well, even dude, because when I was growing up, I told my Mimi all the time. Mimi, she used to film on the recorder or whatever for Christmas. Mimi, right. I hate my voice. Mimi, I hate my voice. It's so deep. It's so like, and I just always told her I hate it. Well, look now, the whole internet tells me about my voice, so I'm just like, damn, bro, I didn't realize it was that impactful, I guess, so.
It is, man. And I'm just saying that's part of what, we talk about the Nashville, New Orleans, and it is what it is. And Frank Davis ain't there no more. And it just ain't. Apathy says, click on it. There you go. Apathy says New Orleans accent is like you're from Brooklyn, but you're high.
Wow, I'm not from Brooklyn, but I might be the other. Who knows?
Suzette says that's depressing. She loves the Yat accents. There needs to be a revival. I don't think it's coming back.
No, I think it's one of them things where like it's the species thing.
It is. They're gonna look back and they're gonna hear tape. 100 years from now, somebody might play this show and then be like, what in the hell are these two dudes talking about? I don't even understand what the hell they're saying.
Yeah. My dad's dad, man, my papa Sydney, man, he's real Yad. I'm not even real Yad. That dude is real Yad. I'm telling you, man.
There aren't many. You got to go down to Araby, and every now and then you go to Rocky and Colos. You're sitting there, you listen, and you'll definitely hear them.
Yeah.
But it is just a slice of it. Well, Devin, I couldn't believe it was almost a year since the last time you've been on. You are our guest for show number 200. Absolutely love when you come on and love talking about it. I can't wait to see what's up next for you, and I would love to have you on in the summer.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Just hit me up, brother.
Will do. Thank you so much. And I'm not joking, by the way. I am going to get with you for a couple of tips and figure out how to do this thing going forward.
Absolutely, man. I got you, man. You're already doing good, though. I can already see it, man.
We're doing all right.
The private spot. That's all it's all about, man. Networking, the people you know. That's all it is.
Like you said, doing what we love, and that's what we're doing. You keep on doing what you love. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, my brother. Take care. Who dat?
Who dat, baby? Devin, hold the Mayo, Snow, RB&R Day. There are only 5 more RB&R days. Make sure you check them out. And Daryl Hayden, you are 100% right. As authentic as your mom and them. No doubt. Chad's talking about and Lafayette Money's a RB&R and meatball stew. I did not know that. I don't think I've ever had meatball stew. I might have to make a trip out to Lafayette. UBN wants him to do some roast beef po' boys next. Maybe so. Is it Ahmed? Kamara's a liability and pass protection too. I'm just wondering where that all fits. What is going to be next? What is going to be next in the running back room? And I'm trying to go back because I know I missed a couple of these because I wanted to get let Devin talk about a few things. Gabe's about to come on too. Kendre under 4th round draft salary 1 more year. He's going to get one more chance. He is definitely going to get one more chance. Here it is. Hakeem, AK-41 is RB2 at this point. And here's the problem though, Hakeem. Absolutely. You're right. Neal is RB3. Estimates good depth piece. Go get Breece Hall. Maybe. I can't say no to that. I wouldn't be upset if they found a way to go get Breece Hall. But here's the thing. Would you rather have AK-41 as your RB2, or would you rather cut him post June 1? I get it. He's clearly Mount Rushmore of running backs on this team. There's no question. He's either first or he's second. And depending on how you look at it, Deuce is either 1 or 2, and Alvin Kamara is either 1 and 2. And so loyalty, I get it. But, and maybe I'm just jaded by loyalty because in my employment history over the past 13 years, there hasn't been, I'm not throwing shade on anybody, but there hasn't been a whole lot of employment loyalty. Should there be employment loyalty in the NFL when you're trying to win championships? I don't know. Would you rather spend would you rather save $9 million on your salary cap and put that towards, I don't know if it's Breece Hall or whoever, or maybe it's a guard, maybe it's whatever. Or would you rather bring Alvin Kamara back? Again, Alvin Kamara has been as endearing to the city as, he's anti-Derek Carr. He's been, I saw something about him, and I saw something about him going to a animal shelter recently and basically saving 50 local animals and adopting one of them that was like 13 years old. There's no question Alvin Kamara is one of the, you want to talk about Mount Rushmores of running backs, he's probably Mount Rushmores of character on this team. But when it comes to winning and where this team is going, does he fit in one more year? Do you want to save none? It's a tough one. I'm not sitting here telling you that I'm going to be upset if that's what they decide to do. But at the same time, it's something that definitely has, and I'm sure it's being thought about. 100% I'm sure it's being thought about. But it's definitely something going forward. It's going to be a giant question going forward. And it's something that this team is going to have to think about. It's something that fans are going to have to realize maybe coming to an end. I mean, it just is. I mean, that's where we are. By the way, I've meant to show this one before. I'm sorry, Antoinette, I hope you're still here watching. Good morning. She loves absolutely the independent Dattitude show. She watches it. She laughs out loud at least once every time she listens. And I hope all of you are enjoying it like that. That was from a while ago. I meant to show that earlier, Antoinette. Devin was coming on about the same time I got to it, so I apologize. But look, what Hakeem says, he just wants to win. That means Alvin has to go, so be it. He just views him as an RB2 if he's kept around. And that's kind of the point. You want a $10 million RB2. I mean, you think about the running backs that make over. Gabe, before I bring you on real quick, because I'm gonna read about our friends at Evangeline real quick. I want you to count, go tell me, and I'm sure it's easy to find, how many running backs this past year made over $10 million? $10 million or more in a salary in a year. It can't be more than 15. It can't. In fact, probably 10. I'm going to guess a dozen. That's going to be my guess. I'll put the over under at 12 and a half. What would you guess? Over or under 12 and a half? So if that's the number, again, he's going to tell me in just a minute. He says down, lower than 12. So do you pay an RB2, top 10 money? I don't. As much as I love Alvin Kamara, I just don't. And so I'm with what Hakeem said. That's just sad, but that's reality in this world. All right, Gabe, about to come on. We told you earlier we're letting you know more about how Evangeline Securities can help you figure out what your family-run or privately held business might be worth and whether it's time to sell. How do they do it? Thank you for asking. After their complimentary valuation of your company, Native New Orleans and Nick Braden and the folks at Evangeline, they will begin an extensive auction process from among established private equity funds from around the whole wide world. And they'll maximize the return for the founder and his or her family. Evangeline Securities is the top producer on their platform. There are very few companies like them in this area, and none, I repeat, 0.0. It makes me cough. I get so excited. I'm so excited about it. It makes me choke. None with their dedication and success. They are fully licensed. They're ready to serve you. So get in touch with Nick about what's really important. And I mean really important. It's not how many millions Alvin Kamara makes. It's not about necessarily what the wide receiver room is going to. You know what's really important? The rest of your life. You can find them at www.evangelinesecurities.com. Chad Gage says one of his top running backs was Thomas Morstead. I can't blame him for that. Charles says AK will take a pay cut. I don't think he will take a pay cut. And here's the problem, Charles. Even if he does take a pay cut, it's not necessarily about the money. The money is secondary to me. It's cap hit. And I don't care what they make money-wise. That doesn't matter to me. What matters is cap hit. And you can't fix the cap hit unless you stretch that out over a longer period of time, and you just can't do that anymore. You can't kick cans anymore. I am not going to advocate kicking a can. I'm just not. So just cut bait. That's where I'm at. Again, if he does come back, I'm not going to be upset about it. But I'd rather cut bait. I'd rather save $9 million on the cap hit. Brian says he's with Hakeem. Just win. He'd take Alvin back if he plays for $5 million. Again, it's not about the money he's making. It's about the cap hit. And the only way you can fix that is to kick the can. Do not kick the can. Same with Cam, Didi, Tate, all of them. If you get him all four for $20 to $25 million, he's all for it. I don't look. I love Taysom Hill. Another one that's a lifetime favorite. Taysom is done. No more Taysom Hill. No more Taysom Hill. Got to go. Just done. Oh, you meant Pierre? No. He's P. Thomas. I'm thinking punter Thomas. Gabe. Maybe it was Pierre Thomas. All right. We got to move on. And I'm going to call up, you know what? I'm going to call up the AFC playoff slide. No, before that, I made this for a reason. Gabe Henderson is here. It's Wednesdays with Gabe. What is going on, my friend? Interesting show.
Just excited to, I'm excited to get some NFL coaching talk.
Yeah, we are definitely going to do that here this morning. But look, and I told you before the show, I did not do enough promoing Devin coming on. I think this is going to be one of those shows that's watched more after. Now, just in general, just to be transparent, just in general, the show is actually watched more. You would think it would be more live people than there would be after the fact, but the show is actually watched more after than live anyway. But I think today's show is really going to be watched a lot after the fact.
I agree.
So, Tay going to retire, Daryl says.
Yeah.
And Charles says he's got to go. And Brian says, absolutely. None of that void years BS. I'm sick of all that. That needs to end. Saints need to stop doing everybody should stop doing it, but Saints really just stop doing it. All right, let's move in. I know you wanted to talk. I don't usually ask you what you want to talk about, but we talked about it this morning, and I know you want to talk about coaching situations.
Before we get to that, I want to answer your running back question.
Oh, please.
So there are 9 running backs that currently make $10,000 or more a year.
10 million.
Or 10 million. Sorry, not 10. There's a lot more than 9 who make 10,000. I know the running back market is bad, but not that bad. So there's 9. Taysom Hill currently is the 5th highest paid running back. That'll obviously go down next year. But if you look at the running backs, once you get past 7 or 8, it really starts trailing off some of these guys. Alvin Kamara is not as good as many of these guys nowadays. Highest paid, technically speaking, the highest paid running back 2 right now is David Montgomery at $9.125 million, and he gets a lot more usage than Alvin Kamara would.
Agreed.
Because that's just how they run their offense. And then Ramondre Stevenson, once again, that's how they run their offense. So
yeah,
that's where they're at.
I absolutely agree. And I just think, look, you just can't. Again, it's not as much the salary as it is these days, but salary to me is almost meaningless. I don't care what the dude actually gets put in his checking account. It's about what your salary cap situation is. And the Saints just aren't, to me, they're trying to streamline, and they've done a really good job of getting better. And you just can't afford to take, if you could find a way to get $10 million stripped from your salary cap and get that back. Yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's going to be, I don't know, 7% of your cap. Get it back. You know?
Well, and let's address the elephant in the room. Alvin Kamara doesn't really fit the way that Kellen Moore wants to play football.
He doesn't. No, he really doesn't.
I mean, if you look at Saquon Barkley last season,
agreed,
or if you look at any of the running backs when he was in Dallas or Los Angeles, they're not pass catchers. He likes workhorses back there. He likes to really open up the passing game through pounding the rock, and Alvin Kamara just can't do that at this age.
I agree, and I think My prediction, I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And Zach didn't agree with me when I said it probably 8 weeks ago. I said, I don't think we'll ever see Alvin Kamara take another snap with the Saints. And I still believe that. I don't think that he will take another snap with the Saints. All right. Let's talk about, first of all, before we get to the playoffs, and we're going to have our Pick'em show tomorrow. So I don't necessarily want to get into the Pick'em part of it. I do want to talk spreads and maybe the ones that are most surprising and what game we're looking forward to most, because we'll do our picks tomorrow. Again, programming note, we will be on Thursday. We'll be on tomorrow, not Friday this week, where it's going to take Friday off. We're going to do tomorrow because we're going to incorporate the college football playoffs into our Pick'em show. Zach will be here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. But I know you want to talk about the coaching news, and I'm pretty sure you feel the same way I do, that John Harbaugh leaving Baltimore is just insane.
I do not.
You don't? Okay.
No. I think there comes a time in certain head coaches' careers where it's simply just not going to work any further. And I think Harbaugh was at that stage in Baltimore. I don't think them parting ways, firing, mutually separating, whatever you want to call it, I don't think that is indicative of how they feel about him as a coach. I think everyone knows he's one of the best coaches in the league. However, there comes a point in relationships in sports where things just don't work anymore. They just don't. John Harbaugh's taken them as far as he can take them. He won a Super Bowl, but for whatever reason, it's just not working anymore. And I think, are they taking a massive risk? Absolutely. Will the next coach be better? We don't know. But I think it just reached a point where it was time. And
I can understand.
You're going to hate when I say this. I don't think Tomlin and Pittsburgh are far away from that point either.
No, I mean, they can do whatever they want. I think
and that's not me. I still think they're two of the best coaches in the league.
They are.
I think they are. Yeah, we can agree on that. But I think,
and I'm not even a big Harbaugh. I don't like the Ravens. I've never really liked the Ravens. I've always kind of in that division. I've always probably, even before Burrow, I probably sort of pulled for Cincinnati more. Message gets old after 18 years, says JC. I'm sorry, I don't agree. I mean, were y'all wanting Sean? Nobody was wanting Sean Payton to be gone, and he was here for 16. So, you know why it's getting old? Because it's a down year. I mean, they went from being one freaky play away from having a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, beating Buffalo, I think they would have beaten Kansas City, in my opinion. So, but regardless, I get you didn't do it. You had a missed kick. You had a drop pass for a touchdown, a drop 2-point conversion from Mark Andrews last year that changed your fate. But here's the thing, though. If he doesn't miss the field goal and they go into the playoffs and they lose in the first round, does the same thing happen? I think no.
I don't know.
You're right. We don't know.
Maybe I'm a bit biased here because one of my best friends is a Baltimore Ravens fan and he's wanted him gone for years.
That's because
he celebrated yesterday like I've never seen him celebrate anything before.
All right. I mean, I would say the same.
He knows more about football than I've forgotten.
It doesn't matter. I call my son an idiot all the time, and things that people want. People, you know what I say to and it's the same old adage: be careful what you wish for, because I think that Baltimore is now going to take a huge step backwards, and I think and I get what you're saying. It's not necessarily about
back to go forward.
You probably think Harbaugh, wherever he goes, is going to be successful because a change of scenery sometimes help people, but it's not always that way. Again, and I go back to there were people who most people were upset when Sean Payton left, but there were lots of people, and I was on the fence that when he left, I'm like, maybe it is time. Maybe it hasn't run its course. And what did the Saints go through 5 years post Sean Payton? They went through hell in a handbasket. They went through the lowest lows since Mike Ditka, and really beyond that, the lowest lows since, I don't know, the 70s. And so I get you got Lamar Jackson, but I don't like the way Lamar Jackson looked this year. He was definitely not as effective as he gets older, and his running style isn't going to work as well. I think that team's about to take a big step backwards no matter who they get.
They could. And, part of that thing with Lamar, part of the reason he might have not looked as good might have had to do with Harbaugh. We just don't know because we're not in that locker room. and maybe they will take a step back. I would say odds are they probably will. But like I just said, sometimes you have to move backwards to eventually move forwards.
And
So-
Rich is absolutely right, because I was one of these people. Back in 2015, 16, 17, people definitely wanted Peyton gone during the 7 to 9 years. Maybe it was 14, 15. And I think
it's
maybe
very
it was 14,
easy.
15, 16.
I was just giving my friends shit earlier because they were talking about if you were in a similar position as the Ravens, would you take D'Amico or CJ Stroud? And they said, "Oh, well, we take D'Amico." And I was like, "Well, you're the idiots who wanted him fired after they started 0-3." So, I mean, people are very reactive,
Yeah,
especially nowadays. So,
I mean, Musette says she thought Sean Payton's play calling had got a bit flat for the last couple of seasons. He was in New Orleans. I can't disagree with you.
no, sometimes it's just time.
I mean,
And
maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Before we transition into these predictions,
Again, I will say this: I hope he can go wherever he wants. Just don't go to Atlanta.
This would be good news for you. I don't have him going to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, you
one
wanted to
one
do
more thing.
coaching predictions. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we'll do coaching predictions here in a second. But the one last thing I want to say, another coach who could be reaching that, it might be time, could be Sean McDermott in Buffalo.
Oh, that I'm not sure. I think Sean McDermott's that great of a coach.
He's not as good as the other two. that we
Definitely
just
not as
named,
good as
but
that.
it still could be time. He's been there a while. It could be time.
I don't pay enough attention. What are the Bills Mafia? Do they want him gone?
They're on the fence.
I
Depends on who you ask.
If they lose to Jacksonville this week, it would not shock me at all if they move on.
I've got a lot of.
I mean, Josh
in-laws
Allen
who
is
are
getting close to
in
what,
Buffalo.
at the bare minimum, the midway point of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's beyond the midway point of his mobility phase of his career. He's going to have to, I would say in about 3-4 years, Josh Allen's really going to have to adapt to a different playing style if he wants to stay in this league, because he's not going to be able to run like that into his 33, 34, and 35-year-old seasons. He's just not.
Yeah.
So the beatings he's been taking as well.
He has taken a beating.
So the Bills, I think the Bills window might be semi-closing. I mean, I don't think it's closing. If they lose, I don't necessarily think it's closed, but you want to talk about one of the two big disappointments here. I mean, I think Kansas City was sort of expected to regress, so you could put them in that category if you want, but you got to consider the Bills and Ravens two huge disappointments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Apathy says no Burrow, no Lamar, no Mahomes. It's now or never for Josh Allen. We'll get to our predictions, but I'm telling you right now, the Bills, and I'm not giving any spoiler alerts, but the Bills don't have – this is not an easy game for the Bills. As the line says, it's basically an even Steven game at Jacksonville, as it should be. And I know a lot of people – I would guess that Buffalo's a square pick. You can easily pull that up.
Yep, we'll look.
I guess, as we call it up. But it would seem like, excuse me, Buffalo, the Patriots and Texans would be the square picks.
I don't know if the Texans would be a square pick. I can look at that as well.
I think the general public hates the Steelers, not because the Texans.
They might, but I just don't know about a team at home, especially with Mike Tomlin's record on Monday Night Football. The Jacksonville Jaguars are actually the square pick.
Really? What's the percentage?
52%.
That's not really square. That's no square pick.
No.
Well,
just
what's the other two?
Oh, you're right. The Texans are 70. Well, okay. This could just be a byproduct of the book that I'm looking at. I'm looking at BetMGM because they're the book that provides these stats. Most books have Texans and Dealers at 3.5, and Texans are still -3 on BetMGM. So that could be people.
And DraftKings.
Yeah.
And DraftKings. Jay Hamilton, yeah, you definitely need to catch up. Today's show it was a really good one. Tom says he's like the Bills, Patriots, and Texans this week to advance. I think that's what the general public loves. So we'll see what I pick on tomorrow's show. All right, let's talk about coaching changes, and you got some predictions. We'll see if I make any predictions. I don't know if I really have any. I didn't think enough about it to just throw it out there, but we'll see what happens. What do you like for who you think is going to be the Atlanta Falcons head coach?
So yeah, I love the fact that you started with the Falcons because they're probably the most relevant to the Saints, obviously, and then I'm also just going geographically A to Z. I like Kevin Stefanski in Atlanta. I think they've really struggled offensively.
I
and I
see
think
that,
Kevin
absolutely.
Stefanski's a guy who can absolutely elevate a team with those weapons.
You can't keep picking shitty coaches over. At some point, just by luck of the draw, you got to get lucky and find one that's good. So they have had, I can't remember the last good coach that the Falcons had. Maybe Dan Reeves. Maybe that's how long it's been since Atlanta's had a good coach.
I mean,
it's been
Dan
a long
Quinn
time.
did take him to a Super Bowl.
Dan Quinn sucks. Dan Quinn's an awful head coach.
I'll get to Dan Quinn more a little later. I don't disagree with you.
That was Shanahan is the reason why they went to the Super Bowl. Sorry. But
also the reason they lost it.
Could be. But maybe it was a reason. But I don't know. He was calling plays, or Dan Quinn said, "Let's run this thing out." Because if you're on your headset and you see things start to slip away, and you're playing that, we're going to just run out the clock game. At some point, as a head coach, you say, "Stop doing that shit." Okay, and he never did. So that's Dan Quinn, and 98% in my opinion. But all right. So that would be a great hire for them, in my opinion. Stefanski would be a great hire. I think he's a really good head coach.
I think Stefanski is the best available coach here.
What about the Giants?
Or do you want to skip around, or do you want to go
whatever order you want? Tom says,
let's go to Arizona.
McCarthy or Harbaugh should worry the rest of the division. Stefanski, I completely disagree.
Stefanski would absolutely.
I think I got to be honest. I think Stefanski is a better coach than either one of those two guys. I have a lot of respect for John Harbaugh, but I think Stefanski is completely underrated. And the situation that happened, first of all, the situation in Cleveland all stems. You can go back to Deshaun Watson, in my opinion. Everything after Deshaun Watson made Cleveland a cluster, you know what? And he still made chicken soup out of chicken doo-doo. If you ask me, right after.
Kevin Stefanski won Coach of the Year twice and made the playoffs 3 times in 6 years with Cleveland. Let me say it again. With Cleveland.
Exactly. And again, with all the distractions of the Deshaun Watson crap, he still won. And it's just the last 2 years.
I thought it was hilarious. His camp put out obviously a lot of reporters have their sources. Kevin Stefanski's camp, almost immediately after he got fired, put out a thing saying, "Oh, we never wanted Deshaun anyway. That was a Cleveland thing." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome PR."
Right. Yeah.
So let's go to Arizona.
And lastly, UBN says, and he just any chance he gets to take a poke at Jimmy Garoppolo, he does it. Shanahan took Jimmy GQ to the Super Bowl. The man should have a statue.
Jimmy GQ might be back in the Super Bowl this year.
He might be. All right, what you got? What else you got?
Arizona, I think it's going to be Clint Kubiak.
Arizona is going to be Clint Kubiak. I don't know that he gets a job this set. Maybe.
I think he's...
Although he did do a lot for Sam Darnold. We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of people are hyping him up this cycle, which is why I think someone like Arizona would pull the trigger. I don't think Arizona wants to go defensive coach again after what happened with Jonathan Gannon. I think they really want to bring in an offensive guy to choose his own quarterback and get the ball rolling there. So that's why I like Clint Kubiak. And especially, you've seen him twice this year. He beat you to high hell twice. So
yeah, maybe so. I mean, it's a possibility. What else you got?
Baltimore. I think it's going to be one of two people. The boring square pick for them is Jesse Minter because of his ties to Harbaugh. I think that's a little too close to the previous regime. I think the best possible hire for the Baltimore Ravens would be Brian Flores.
And look, Hakeem said it. I don't know that Brian Flores gets a job in this cycle either.
Brian Flores will get a job in this cycle. I'm almost positive of that.
All right. Well, I'm not making a prediction because I know I'm in the minority when I say this, but I don't love Brian Flores as a head coach. I just don't. And in Minnesota,
excellent things in Minnesota.
They started to falter down. Now, granted, their defense was on the field a lot because their quarterback play was so bad that their defense had to be on the field a lot. It's kind of like the Saints the first half of the year, which is why the Saints defense probably wasn't as great the first half of the year. But I don't know. UBN says, does Vance Joseph get? Now I'm biased because I'm Vance Joseph.
I don't think Vance Joseph would get a job this cycle.
I don't know. I'd almost rather see Vance Joseph get a chance than Florida's.
I think Brian Flores will get the job.
Tom
really
says Stefanski ran Baker out of town for Deshaun, so that I don't think that was Stefanski's decision.
Can we talk about how Cleveland kept Andrew Berry as their GM despite
Exactly.
constructing an awful
Right.
roster? Yeah, Cleveland is going to continue to be a dumpster fire, which is why you'll like this pick because we're now at Cleveland. This is a great transition. I think Cleveland ends up with Mike McCarthy.
Ooh, I think
they do.
I don't think Mike McCarthy would want to go there. There's too much. Mike McCarthy's
really wants
Mike McCarthy's not going to go somewhere that there's a mess like that. I don't see that.
He's an offensive guy. They've got the defense. He could probably retain Jim Schwartz.
You want me to make a prediction? Here's my prediction. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I am going to make this prediction.
Okay.
I think McCarthy goes to one of two places if he gets a job at all.
Okay.
I agree that he really wants a job. I think it's one of two places. It's either the Giants or it's going to be Atlanta. I think it's going to be somewhere that has a quarterback. Their quarterback situation is not an absolute mess.
Well, Apathy's pick is the popular one. A lot of people have him going to the Titans. I just don't see that. I have a Titans pick that I don't like because it's a bit personal. So we'll
get there in a second. I don't think McCarthy would want to go to a team. Look, the Titans aren't going to be good next year, or really, honestly, I don't think the Titans are going to be good in the next year or two. They've got so many I don't think he wants to go to a team that has so many fixes. I actually think the Giants can be semi good again, and I know Atlanta can be good again. So I think it's going to be one of those. That's why I say it's going to be one of those two places.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it'd be such a Cleveland hire. So that's why I landed there. Las Vegas. Las Vegas is another interesting one.
Well, they're so hard to predict.
So they are. They really are. And there's only two teams. Well, there's three teams where I had this person or that person. This one is the one that's contingent upon something.
Mm-hmm.
If Brian Flores doesn't get the Baltimore job, I think he is a lock.
I could say that
to get the Vegas job, and that is because he was an assistant in New England, and Tom Brady knows him well.
Right, I could see that.
I think Tom Brady would be eager to get him a job.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If he doesn't get it in Baltimore, but if he does go to Baltimore, I mean, I think Vegas would look at Joe Brady, and Joe Brady's name is really cooled down, but the reason that I think Vegas is, I think it's kind of Vegas or nothing for him, and I think it's because they look at Ashton Genty and they look at what Joe Brady did, making James Cook the leading rusher in the NFL this year, and they say, hey, we want that. Come do that with our guy. And that's why I think it could be. And it's just a hipster pick.
I'm just glad we don't have to do this again here. I went back and I was trying to look at what we were doing the same time last year. And I'm like, I'm so glad we don't have to do that crap right now. That's crazy. What about Titans?
Well, so Giants, but before we get to the Titans, just going alphabetically.
Okay.
Giants, the next one. It's another or. I have Jeff Hafley, the Packers DC, or Lou Anarumo. Lou Anarumo was the popular pick early on. The Colts really faltered down the stretch. I think he stays in Indy, so I think it'll be Jeff Hafley from Green Bay.
Okay. Tom, Spencer Rattler's not going anywhere. He's under contract. The only way he would be gone, Tom, and everyone else for that matter, is if the Saints were to trade him. They're not, and this doesn't mean, again, fans don't understand how trades work, so don't get upset. Rattler has almost zero trade value.
Rattler has more value to the Saints than
correct
the pick that they would get back.
Exactly. They'd be lucky
in the quarterback room.
They would be absolutely incredibly, if they wanted to trade him, absolutely lucky to get a 6th-round pick for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's about what his value is. And you're not going to trade a guy who's probably your backup that you don't have to go out and try to get. The Saints don't want to spend any money on a backup quarterback. Yeah. I mean, it would be silly to spend real money on a backup quarterback. Spencer Rattler is 90% going to be your backup quarterback, as well he should be. So, and like Gabe said, he has more value to the Saints than he has to anyone
100%.
else. They're not going to trade him, and there's literally no other way he is on another team unless he were to get cut. And I cannot see the Saints cutting him. There's no reason to cut him either. So again,
I cannot overstate how important can't overstate how important continuity in the quarterback room is.
Absolutely.
And we've already we mentioned on Monday's show very briefly how Jake Haener probably won't be with the Saints next year.
Yeah, it'll be Hunter Deckers will be the third quarterback next year.
So then if you're looking at a potential Rattler trade, you would need to bring in 1 to 2 quarterbacks. I just don't think you want to have a guy behind Shough who knows the system, who's
the only chance to me, like you could theoretically, here's to me the only chance that Spencer Rattler's not here. If, say, in the 5th or 6th round, some dude drops and drops and drops, I don't even know who that might be, but somebody drops like to the 5th or 6th round, like Rattler dropped a couple of years ago. I could potentially see more using. I don't even think the Saints have a 5th round pick. I think they have 2 4th rounds and no 5th round. I don't know. Anywhere, somewhere around 6th round or something along those lines, I could see Kellen Moore saying, you know what, we'll go take a shot at someone, and that dude ends up making the team. Other than that, I just don't see it.
I don't see it happening.
Hakeem wants to know, did we see LaFleur getting fired in Green Bay if they lose? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. They could get blown.
I think maybe if they miss the playoffs next year after an early exit this year, but other than that, no.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jordan Love missed 4 games this year. They had and Micah Parsons is done. I mean, you can't. No, I mean, the Green Bay's had their issues. We'll get to Green Bay in a minute. All right, did you do everyone or no? You didn't.
No, I got Titans left.
Okay, what do you got for Titans?
Matt Burke.
Water, so we gotta.
I think it'll be Matt Burke, the Texans DC.
Oh, okay.
And here's why. He spent 4 years with Tennessee from 04 to 08.
You think they want to go defense? Mine?
Well, here's the thing. Do you remember what happened the last time Tennessee hired a Texans defensive coordinator?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mr. Vrabel.
But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
And not only that, maybe. Tennessee loves to stick it to Houston, even though they never do. And they saw Matt Burke absolutely emasculate them twice this year in person offensively. They went offense with Callahan and it didn't work out. I think someone stable like Burke could work out. And with that pick, what that means is the guys that will not get jobs this cycle, John Harbaugh, I think he takes a year off.
He might.
Joe Brady, unless he gets Vegas, I don't think he gets a job this cycle.
Agreed.
Pete Carroll, I think he's done.
Oh, God, I hope so.
And Cliff Kingsbury, people want to frame it as Cliff Kingsbury left Washington because he's pursuing head coaching opportunities. That might be true. I view it personally as he's one of the first off a sinking ship with Dan Quinn. Maybe come full circle our conversation about Dan Quinn earlier. I think he's going to be out in Washington next year, and I think all signs really appealing job.
Yeah, I think all signs point to him being out. So we'll see. Apathy says he's surprised that Miami's keeping Coach Gucci. I think they made it clear. I think they made it clear not that long ago that that's where they were going. On Kyle Sherman is saying Mickey said this morning. By the way, Mickey Loomis's press conference, end of the year post conference, which we'll talk about tomorrow on tomorrow's show, and I'll probably run clips of it. Said no trade for Rat. Mickey says a lot of stuff. Agree. I don't think, again, there's no reason why they would get rid of Rattler or trade him. But again, to me, saying that no trade for someone in January is complete, unless you're talking about a Shough or or an Olave or someone that's not going, Juwan Johnson, that ain't happening. I mean, to me, that's who cares? I mean, things change over the course of 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, for sure. Yeah. And Colin, I absolutely agree. I think Hunter Deckers is going to be, barring they get some project, I think Hunter Deckers is going to be your third string quarterback. I would be shocked if Haener's back. There's absolutely 0.0 reason to bring Jake Haener back. He is never going to be worthy of being a serviceable, even backup. I mean,
I do also wonder,
way better than Jake Haener.
If it's in either of them, I do wonder if they go take a flyer on a veteran just to get a veteran.
Maybe it depends on what kind of money situation they have.
Yeah, exactly.
And what veteran that might be would have, again, like last year, would have to be a veteran that's willing to say, I know I'm not going to start or play. I'm only going to play in case of emergencies. And again, I don't think the Saints have any desire to not make Spencer Rattler their backup quarterback.
I don't know if he has any desire to play. think they'd be smart to bring in Case Keenum. Maybe that's just a homer thing to say, but he spent 2 years in Houston helping CJ Stroud out. He's helped Caleb Williams a lot this year.
I just don't know if there's room for a Case Keenum. I mean,
maybe not.
Are you going to make? I mean, Rattler's not going to be the third string quarterback, and you don't want to.
No. Keenum would be your third. He'd never play. He'd be fine being inactive every week.
Sean, do I think that if Mike Tomlin gets the can if the Steelers lose in the first round? I don't.
Mike Tomlin does not get the can.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to.
He would have to walk away.
Pittsburgh is completely different than Baltimore. That is a completely different situation, different ownership, completely different. I think Tomlin goes when Tomlin wants to go. All right, let's talk about just these playoffs, and I want to show the NFC real quick. We're running long here. It's about time to, again, we're going to talk about all this stuff tomorrow. But of these 3 games, I mean, don't be a homer. Which of these 3 games intrigue you the most? Which one of these 3 games you think you're most surprised by the line?
I wasn't going to be a homer anyway. I'm most intrigued by Bills Jags. I'm most surprised the Texans Steelers line.
Me too.
I was shocked when that line. I mean, you and I were texting when that line went live, and we were both shocked.
We both said that we thought it would be. I said I thought it would be maybe Houston minus 1.5 because that's what they do with the even lines. They make them 1.5. But I basically thought it would be even. I thought it'd be like Houston minus 120, Pittsburgh plus 100, and it's not. I mean, to give a full field goal in this game on the road. Again, I have no idea what I'm picking yet. I got to go through. I actually want to spend the afternoon looking through some trends and stuff. But I agree. I couldn't agree more. And I just think Bills Jags to me says a lot about where the future. If the Jags lose this game, then to me it's the same old Jaguars, and whatever they did the last 8 to 10 weeks means jack shit. It doesn't mean anything. And the Bills really are championship level, because if they win this game, to me, this is a championship level kind of game. I think the Jaguars are that talented. They have proven me wrong. So that's why I don't just think this is the most intriguing game in the AFC. I think this is the most intriguing game of the entire playoffs because, again, this game more than any other tells me what to look for in the future.
Mr. J. Hamilton and UBN there, and then there was someone earlier in the, I think it might have been Lance earlier in the week. Everybody
really. This is all the score. This is why I told you it was going to be square. All this Houston going to win. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to make this pick or not, but I think I'm not trying to be different. I think Pittsburgh's going to win the game. I really do. And look, I'm not strong. I don't feel strongly about it. It wouldn't surprise me if Houston wins the game. But you know as well as that I do, and when you and I are looking to be on the other side why the bookies make money, and if Houston does win this game, I think it'll be by less than 3 because I think people won't be taking the 3. They'll just be betting Houston minus 3. If Houston wins the game, I think it's going to be by 1 or 2. That's my prediction. I think either Houston wins by 1 or 2 or they lose.
I'll give you a little insight. I'm not going to pick this game in my picks. If I do, it'll be the total. I'm not playing the spread.
I have
Houston
no idea.
Has never won a road playoff game in their 23 years.
That's a trend.
However, CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans, if you look at the last 2 years that they've made the playoffs, they've annihilated the teams that they've played in the first round.
Yeah,
they emasculated the Chargers and they beat down the Joe Flacco Browns.
It's not every day we get emasculated on this show. That's better than the F word. That's for sure. Yeah. And then the Sunday 7:00 game, I might fall asleep. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
it'll be
watch
fun. Two fun quarterbacks, defensive coaches. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll see. A-Town says if Stefanski goes to Atlanta, could revitalize the whole NFC South, along with Kellen Moore and Carolina's coach, Canales. All right, let's
oddballs. Did you see what? Okay, real quick, because I know we're going to transition to the NFC. Did you see what Todd Bowles said about when he was asked about his job security the other day?
No.
He was asked if he expects to be back, and he said, "Yep, I've won the division the last 3 years, and that means something."
4. Oh, that's right. 3, 4. The other one was not him. That's right.
No. Yeah.
And that means
so. Okay. He's like, I've won the division the last 3 years. First time I don't. It's got to mean something, and I agree with them. I completely agree with them.
Oh, I want him to come back. 100%. Absolutely. Please, by all means, bring Todd Bowles back. Bring him. I'll bring all the old geezers back. I mean, what's Mike Evans, like 48 years old now? Please bring them all back. The only one that scares me is Bucky Irving. That dude's good. The rest of them, I don't care.
Is going to be really good.
Yeah, he is going to be good. I agree. You're right. All right. NFC playoffs. Same question. Which of these 3 games is the most intriguing? Which one of these lines surprises you the most? And I think I know the answer to both questions. It's probably the same answer I have.
I think the Carolina-Los Angeles line is the most intriguing.
Okay.
I think the Bears-Packers is the most interesting.
You mean Rams-Panthers is the most surprising line?
Yes.
Yeah, and you mean Packers-Bears is the most intriguing?
Yeah, intriguing game.
And we're 4 for 4. I couldn't agree more. If it's Bills-Jags is the most telling for the future, then Packers-Bears tells me more about this playoff, this particular playoffs, because I think if the Packers win this game, it's what I expect. Again, I'm not telling you this is a game I'm going to pick. I have no idea what I'm going to pick tomorrow.
Well, you've said for weeks that it is a game that you're going to pick.
Again, right, exactly. Well, I've also said for weeks that I have no respect for. I just don't think the Bears are that good. But if they keep winning, I guess at some point you got to say, well, maybe they are that good. So I am super intrigued for this game because I want the Bears to tell me if they're really that good. And if they win this game, I don't care that it's the 2 versus the 7. If they win this game, then they are that good. And they do show me a lot. And so it is what it is.
Completely agree.
UBN says tune in. Well, they're going to tune in anyway for his New Year's shirt and Super Bowl picks. Tom is saying the Packers are less good than the Bears. I disagree. I mean, I don't know why. Look, Jordan Love hasn't played for 3 weeks, and I get that Micah Parsons isn't there. The Bears defense is like the 27th ranked. They get turnovers out the wazoo. I don't know that that's a trend that could continue. Josh Jacobs hadn't played. He has took a week off. Josh Jacobs is going to be well rested. I think, again, Jordan Love probably could have played last week if they wanted him to play. And Green Bay is banged up. They're not as banged up as you think they are.
So here's the thing. First off, Toyotathon ended 3 days ago. So for all
what pick is square in the what's square in this one?
I'll look at that. But one thing that I love about what Tom said, he said the Packers are less good than the Bears. Here's the thing. We're gonna find out. And that's why I love this game.
I think whoever wins that game is
split this series in the season. They've been
whoever wins that game is absolutely a contender to go to the Super Bowl. Whoever wins that game.
I think this year there are so many.
Any of these teams except the Panthers can go to the Super Bowl.
I have not been, and this isn't just me saying this because my team's in the field. I have not been this excited for the NFL playoffs in a while.
I'm with you.
The square pick is the Chicago Bears. 62% of people are betting them.
What about that Rams Panthers 10.5? What is the betting public doing there?
Hold on. The betting public should be playing Carolina.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous line.
But if let's see what they're doing. They are betting Carolina 64%. Might be square, but
Carolina,
the right choice.
Yeah, okay.
I'm the right choice.
Probably going to stay away from that game. I don't know. I may have an over/under somewhere. And we haven't even mentioned the Niners Eagles. Now, UBN just poo-pooing his team because he thinks that's the way to not to unjinx them.
You said the same about Philly and their offense.
He's just being.
Did you watch their game against Buffalo? They had 12 yards in the second half of total offense.
Exactly.
Jalen Hurts didn't complete a pass.
I don't know what Eagles team is going to show up. I've been saying that I think the Eagles. This is another intriguing
anomaly.
I actually like. I like either one of these teams. If they went to the Super Bowl, it wouldn't shock me. Mm-hmm. I just don't know. I can tell you this one will not be in my picks.
I'm not touching this game with this.
I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. I really don't know. See you later, Charles. We'll see you on tomorrow. But I mean, do you have any idea with this game?
No. But
I mean,
Apathy's saying it's the Kellen Moore effect. It's the Nick Sirianni effect. Every time he changes offensive coordinators, he makes the wrong hire. They suck for a year. He makes a change. They get another good guy in, and they make a run. It's so weird. And I don't know why he doesn't have just some consistency.
And Apathy, by the way, you can't to say you could say whatever you want, but you can't say the Eagles suck. I mean, that's absurd to say they're the defending
Eagles are in the playoffs right now.
Super Bowl champion coming in as the 3 seed. They don't suck.
And not only that, they made the Super Bowl before Kellen Moore got there.
That's ridiculous. I mean, are they going to win the Super Bowl again? Probably not. But you can't say they suck. That's insane. Tom's right. Frisco to Philly is a long trip, but I don't know. Frisco's kind of used to doing it. Frisco has the team that travels to me.
I was going to say, let's talk about Los Angeles to Carolina.
That's going to be a fun game. So
this is Tom is on fire today because he's hitting all the talking points that I love. I love to talk about cross country teams and fading them.
Well, maybe you'll talk about. Well, you said you're not picking this game, so I mean, Rams are going cross country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
10.5. When's the last time a team went from the West Coast to the East Coast in the playoffs and gave up 10.5? I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know.
I'll leave that research to you.
Happened. I'm definitely gonna do research on that. That just seems. And look, I don't want to be with the public, but they tacked on that hook on the 10.5. They are like begging you to bet on Carolina. They're literally begging you to bet on Carolina with that hook. Okay, it was bad enough when it was 10, but to make it 10.5 is just silly.
Yeah,
in my opinion. I can't wait to see what the pick'em is tomorrow. UBN sent me his already. I did not look at him. I literally just gave him the thumbs up without looking at it. So, you know, Tom says 10.5 is a lot for a cross country trip, but they're begging you to bet on a team for a reason. They don't beg you to bet on a team. Maybe they do think that this is a weird situation where they're jacking it up and then want you to bet on the other team because they think the other team's going to whack some ass.
Maybe.
So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. 10.5 though.
Then my parting comment. Abby had a question earlier about LSU. What do I think of LSU trying to poach the Washington quarterback? I think he is absolutely the guy that they should get. I think he's better than Sam Levitt. But I think if they don't get him, they need to get one of them. Put it that way.
Yeah, they definitely do. Or it's going to be
got a lot of receivers.
Rough LSU offseason. Yeah, they got another one today. They got I forgot to
Ray Wilson.
I didn't want to read it while Red Bean was on, but
retroactive breaking news.
Retroactive, exactly. Florida transfer wide receiver Eugene Trey Wilson is committed to LSU. Reports on 3. So there you go.
Third receiver they brought in now, third or fourth?
Third. So we'll see. And they brought in a running back who had 1 carry last year.
They did.
So we'll see how that works out for him. All right, Gabe, see you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Tomorrow is Pick'em Thursday. We'll have fun Thursday. Oh, it just doesn't sound the same. Fun Thursday. Today was fun Wednesday. I look and tell your friends. And I say this a lot at the end of shows, but I really mean it today. I mean, not that I don't mean it other days, but tell your friends about today's show because Heaven, Hold the Mayo on Red Bean, Devin, whatever you want to call him. I love when he comes on the show. Again, he was show number 200 way back when. He came on when we were on Super Bowl Row last year, and now he's on show number 460. And he's everything I thought. And I got to be honest, I didn't expect him to be on that long. I thought he would be on for I even told Gabe, I said, expect to come on probably earlier than usual today because I just thought we'd talk for a few minutes, talk about a show. Maybe we ended up talking for 45 minutes. It's a really good conversation. So if you missed the first part of the show, go back and watch it. And if you did watch it, tell your friends about it because they're going to want to watch. And you know how to find us. Tell your friends to subscribe to the Dattitude YouTube page. That's where the family lives. Look at this. UBN with the super chat. Go buy me a healthy lunch. You know what I'm going to – I can already tell you. I have I'll tell you what's for lunch today. I have a free Subway sandwich that I have to use by today or I lose it, and I'm never going to lose it. I'm always going to go get the freebie. So I'm having Subway for lunch as soon as we get off the show. Mr. J. Hamilton, thank you so much for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. Always appreciated when you donate to the pocket. Gabe says that Red Bean was on for 57 minutes. Damn. I didn't know it was that long. Thank y'all so much for the super chats. Everybody's giving love to Jerry. All is well. We're glad you are back with us. Again, memberships are coming up by the end of next week, and probably before the end of next week, we will have memberships available. I got to do some research into it. I have not had time, but I will look into that. Gabe and I have been talking about how we want to do it. That's coming up. Stick around. Find out how it works. Tom says, coming in NOLA next week, got to go to Mr. Ed's. Mr. Ed's is a good one. I haven't been there in a long time. It's been a while since I've been to Mr. Ed's. And who dat, by the way. Absolutely. We had a lot of fun, so we're going to say goodbye for today. It has been a fantastic Wednesday. Again, thanks to Devin, Hold the Mayo Snow. Thanks to Gabe Henderson. Thanks to you. Tomorrow, the Pick'em crew will be here. Zach Ewing, Gabe Henderson, UBN will be here. Zach and I will be talking about Saints a little bit. We'll also be doing a CFP preview. The quarterfinals begin. Tomorrow, it's Miami against Ole Miss. Then on Friday, it is Indiana against Oregon. Looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll let you make your picks as well as we go along. Lance, thank you so much for being a regular. Thanks to all the regulars. If you've been here for 460 shows, you've been here for one show or somewhere in between, we love you so much, and we thank you. Again, subscribe to that YouTube page. If you want to just listen to the pod, you can also find us wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple, Spotify, and many more. I hope everyone's getting back into the routine. Like I said the other day, it was so nice this morning. A quiet house, getting ready for the show. There's no kids fighting. There's no dogs barking. It was absolutely wonderful. Tedders, I'm going to let them answer it because I'm not giving any freebie. I'm not eating king cake this year. Tedders wants to know where he should order his cream-filled king cake. I can't even eat a cream-filled king cake, even if I wasn't on a diet, because my wife hates the cream-filled. We got to get the plain all the time. Yes. So I don't even know if I'm going to have king cake this year. We'll see. I'll probably sneak a bite or two. I don't know. And we'll sneak you back on the show tomorrow, live at 11 a.m. Central Time. We hope you can join us. And until then, everyone, take it easy, my friends.